Hi, and welcome to a special edition of the Forerunner Chronicles. Tonight our topic is Torture in America, the United States and Vatican Connection. Tonight, via satellite, we have with us Keith Oberman. Keith, good night.
Good night, sir.
I'm so glad that you were able to join us in the studio tonight because I saw your commentary on MSNBC the other night and I really enjoyed the way that you spoke frankly about the criminal actions of George Bush and the rest of his cabinet in allowing torture to take place here in the United States and abroad. So I know that you're going to bring some very poignant information to the table tonight. But Keith, before I bring you in on this discussion and we talk to the rest of our viewers out there, I have a book before me, or rather some excerpts from a book before me called The Great Controversy. Now I think this book is pretty amazing because the information in it is extremely relevant. And I want to share a few quotes of it with you, Keith, and the rest of our viewers out there before we go forward tonight. It says here on page 568 of the book Great Controversy, in the days of Rome supremacy, there were instruments of torture to compel assent to her doctrines. There was the stake for those who would not concede to her claims. There were massacres on a scale that will never be known until revealed in the judgment. Dignitaries of the church studied under Satan their master to invent means to cause the greatest possible torture and not end the life of their victim. The infernal process was repeated to the utmost limit of human endurance, until nature gave up the struggle and the sufferer hailed death as sweet release. The papal church will never relinquish her claim to infallibility. All that she has done in her persecution of those who reject her dogmas, she holds to be right. And would she not repeat the same acts should the opportunity be presented? Let the restraints now imposed by secular governments be removed, and Rome be reinstated in her former power, and there would speedily be a revival of her tyranny and persecution. There are many who are disposed to attribute any fear of Roman Catholicism in the United States to bigotry or childishness. Such see nothing in the character and attitude of Romanism that is hostile to our free institutions, or find nothing portentous in its growth. Let us then first compare some of the fundamental principles of our government with those of the Catholic Church. The Constitution of the United States guarantees liberty of conscience. Nothing is dearer or more fundamental. Pope Pius IX, in his encyclical letter of August 15, 1854, said, "The absurd and erroneous doctrines or ravings in defense of liberty of conscience are a most pestilential error, a pest of all others, most to be dreaded in a state." The same Pope, in his encyclical letter of December 8, 1864, anathematized, which means he denounced and pronounced a curse on those who asserted the liberty of conscience and of religious worship, all of such as maintain that the church may not employ force. The passive tone of Rome in the United States does not imply a change of heart. She is tolerant where she is helpless, says Bishop O'Connor. Religious liberty is merely endured until the opposite can be carried into effect without peril to the Catholic world. Keith, I see these statements as amazingly pertinent right now because in the book of Revelations chapter 13 starting at verse 11, it says there, "And I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and it had two horns like a lamb, and it spake as a dragon. And it exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth all the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." That lamb-like beast in Revelation chapter 13 and 11, Keith, is the United States of America. And we are told there that the United States of America will speak like a dragon, which means it will turn into a persecuting power, just like pagan Rome, just like the papacy. And not only that, when it says it will exercise the power of the first beast before it, that first beast is the Roman Catholic Church, the papacy. The same papacy that persecuted from 538 to 1798. 1,260 years of persecution. That's found in Revelation chapter 13. So So I see this book, Great Controversy, Keith, as being very pertinent to this discussion. But I don't want to go off in a raving because I know that you have so much to say. Now, before we get deeper into this, I want you to know that tonight via satellite, we're also going to have Daniel Levine here in the studio with us. Now, Keith, can you please tell our viewers out there what Daniel Levine did 3 years ago, which makes him so pertinent to our subject matter of American torture tonight?
Daniel Levine took himself to a military base and let himself be waterboarded.
Now, I would say that that definitely would make Daniel Levine very pertinent to our discussion. Now coming in on via satellite is Mr. Levine. Mr. Levine, thank you for being in the studio with us tonight. I know that you are the man of the hour. We thank you for your heroic actions and in standing up for the United States of America and going out and putting your own neck on the line for us. Now, Mr. Levine, because you have undergone water torture your own self, can you please tell us, can you please tell the world, can you please tell the American public, is waterboarding torture? And is it the same type of torture that the Vatican used during the Spanish Inquisition that took human beings to their actual limit, to the very precipice of death, without them actually stepping over the limits? Is waterboarding torture, Mr. Levine? We're going to go to break right now, but I want you to come back and be with us and watch part 2 of our series tonight, because we're going to talk about some very pertinent truth that you need to know. God bless you.